Okay, friends. Today we will talk about web services. I have a good exercise for you about web services. But before I start the exercise, let me talk the theory part. First of all, what is a web service? Okay, friends, it is a software module that is designed to perform a certain set of tasks. Okay, this is very important. And web services are the services that serve from one machine to another over a network. This means that, let's say that you are creating a web service, you are hosting it on a web server, and anyone else, I mean any software over network or over internet may make a request to this module, to this web service, and web service makes some tasks and returns, let's say, the answer, or let's say reply to your software. Okay. Let me give you an example about web services. For example, AWS. It is Amazon Web Services. Allows the online users to view the prices of different items sold on Amazon.com. Okay. Actually, a typical web services architecture comprises three entities: client, web server, and an internet to carry out the operation. Mehmet, actually, I didn't open any window. I'm just talking the theory, okay? So I will open a window, or I will share my desktop when I start to exercise. Just try to concentrate what I'm explaining now, because you need to understand the idea of web service. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Here we can say that client is typically a set of all applications or software systems that request a web service. Okay. Web server is a set of all applications or software systems that provide web service. And this happens over internet. Friends, let's think in this way. You are Amazon, okay, and you have a huge database, and one of the companies wants to sell your products over its website. So you need to share your database with him. Is this logical? No, because I am a huge company, I am Amazon, and I don't want to share my database. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a web service. And when the company's software requests a price for a specific product, this web service gets the product ID, for example, and checks my database, finds its price, and sends its price to the back. Okay, so it's in the middle. So the company cannot reach my database directly. I have a web service, and by using this web service, I am giving some information. I'm sharing some information with others. Okay, this is an example of a web service. Okay, I think you have an idea what is web service. It's like a method, but this is something else, okay? because it is on the web server individually. It's a separate module on the web server. So any software that knows the address of this web service can make request, okay? And these web services actually, they have certain tasks. I mean, for example, finding the price of a product, okay? This is a certain task. Okay, we have different types of web services. I don't know if you heard the names. For example, SOAP. For example, RESTful. Okay. Let's start from the SOAP. Actually, today I'm going to solve an example that uses this type of web service. SOAP service stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. Okay. And SOAP services are stateful services that use XML language to form an envelope. The architecture of SOAP service, let me say, every SOAP service depends on three entities, which ultimately form the architecture of the service: service provider, service requester, and service registry. Provider, all software systems which is a part or provides web service. We call it service provider. Service requester, all software systems or applications which is a part of requests web service from service provider. And service registry, a registry or repository where all the information about web service is provided by the service provider. Okay, these are the things that we may need to know about architecture of SOAP service. Okay. Then, what about RESTful service? REST stands for Representational State Transfer, and it is stateless service. The web server doesn't store any information about the client session, okay? Which means each request type is treated and performed easily with the help of REST inbuilt. Actually, I want to say a few words about the difference between SOAP and REST services. SOAP envelope can be used in the REST, but not vice versa. SOAP services are typically more secure than the REST services, as SOAP services provide WSS apart from SSL. This SSL is present both in SOAP and REST. SOAP is slower than REST, as the request processing takes more time in SOAP due to the HTML data format. REST uses JSON, which is very lightweighted and thus makes it faster. SOAP doesn't have any inbuilt method, but REST does have like get, put. SOAP is stateful, whereas REST is stateless. And the request and response bodies in SOAP support only the XML data format. In REST, the request and response bodies support many data formats like JSON, XML, plain text, and so on. Okay, for RESTful services, I suggest you to read more documents on the internet. For this SOAP, I have an exercise here, and I want to solve this exercise for you. Okay. Now let me share my screen with you. I think you can see. Now, okay, friends, first of all, I'm going to create my web service, okay? I'm creating new project. Okay, create, empty. Okay, then here I'm right-clicking on the application name in Solution Explorer. I will choose Add, and then New Item. Okay, here, friends, we need to find Web Service. Okay, where is that? Web Service. It's here. Web Service ASMX. Okay, it is under Web tab. It is Web Service ASMX. After you choose it, you can give a name to it, but I'm keeping it as it is seen here. I will keep its default name, Web Service 1 ASMX, but you can change its name, doesn't matter. And if you are going to use more web services, so it's better to give logical names to your web services. I am clicking Add button. Now, as you see, this is my Web Service 1 ASMX. Okay, this is the content, and I have already public string hello world here. I have a method, hello world method here. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to let me run it and see what happens. Okay, you can see your web service here. Okay, your browser recognizes that it is a web service, and here you can see the methods you have in your web service. I just have hello world. This is the default method that comes with web service when you create web service. You can click hello world. You can see SOAP 1, SOAP 1.1, 1.2, HTTP post. You can click invoke to, call the method. You see, I called it. Okay, this is the XML that returns me back, hello world. Okay. Okay. Then I'm closing it and I'm going back. Let me write one more method here. Okay. Let's say that I'm going to find multiplication of two numbers. Okay, I'm going to take two values and I will find the multiplication of these two values. So I will write public integer multiplication. Okay, I'm going to get two values, so I should have two parameters. Parameter 1, integer, parameter 2. Okay, this is a regular method. Then integer result, result is equal to P1 multiply P2 and return result. Okay, this is my function. So I'm running web service again. And still we don't have that method here. What is missing? The missing thing is we should come here and before our method, we should say web method, like we did here, okay? Like we did here, sorry. We should say here as well. Okay, let me run it again. And as you see, we have multiplication method here. I can click on it and try it if it works. I'm clicking on multiplication. And as you see in the test part, we have two parameters. I'm saying 10 and 50, and I'm invoking the method. So I got 500. And this means that it's okay, it works. And then these two methods are working, okay? And my web service works properly. Okay, then I'm closing it. Okay, I'm keeping my web service application here, okay? I created my web service application. Let's keep it. I'm going here and I'm opening one more Visual Studio 2019. But I'm still keeping the one I created for web service, okay? Keep it. Now, I open another Visual Studio 2019 and I'm going to create one more project. Okay, this will be my, let's say, the website. But I will need to use web service, okay? Okay, then I'm right clicking here and I'm saying add web form. Okay. Okay, in design part, I'm going to insert a table, 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay. Then here, first number, second number, result. Okay, text box, and text box. And here I'm going to put a button. Okay, let's say that multiply I'm just trying to make it more visible for you. Okay. Okay, now this is my web form. This is my web application. Then when user clicks multiply, I will use web service to find the result of multiplication of these two numbers. Okay, I mean first number and second number. Okay, then what I'm going to do after I did this, first of all, I need to add service reference. So I'm going back to Solution Explorer again, right click on references, and I will choose add service reference. Okay, add service reference. Second option or second menu item when you right click on. Okay, now a new window will be shown here. Click advanced, and in the advanced, click add web service. This is a new window. Click add web service. Okay, when you click add web service, another window will open. But before I continue here, I will return back to my web service, the first application I created for web service. Now I am going to run web service. Okay, run the web service. And on the Chrome, you will see your methods, and keep this browser open. Do not close it. Just copy the address. Okay, localhost 44 something. Okay, web service 1 SMX. Copy this address. Okay, this is actually on my virtual server, on my virtual web server, which is created by Visual Studio. But generally, this web service will be on the internet or on the network. So you will need the address of the web service to reach it. Okay, but assume that this is a web server, real web server, and this is the address of web service, and I'm going to use that. So I copied the address here. Okay, and I'm returning back to my web application. Okay, then I'm going to write address here, or you can paste it. Okay, after you paste the address here, just click this go to button, and you will see the web service here. It means that I reached the web service. Everything is fine. And on the right side, you will see that one service found. The name is web service 1. Okay, so here is the web service reference, web reference name, localhost. Okay, I'm keeping it as it is. Okay, if you like, you can change this, but I'm keeping it as it is. Then click at reference. When you say click at reference, you will see that you have web references and localhost here. Okay, now it's ready. Now it's ready. It is possible for me to make request to the web service from this web application. Okay, but don't forget, my web service is still running. Okay. Now, is it finished? Actually, no, because I need to write a code for multiply button. I'm double clicking multiply. Okay. And here, I'm going to create two variables, integer variable 1 and variable 2. And let's say that the first one variable is equal to integer parse 1.text. And variable 2 is equal to integer parse 2.text. Okay. Now I got two values from text boxes. Then I'm going to, create my object. So I'm using name here. It's localhost. Okay, I will use it here. Localhost dot web service 1. This is the web service name that we created. Then I'm giving any name. Okay, for example, let's say that W1 new localhost web service 1. Okay, now I created my object, and I'm going to use this object to get result back. So here I'm saying text box 3 text is equal to W1 dot, what is the name of my method, dot multiplication. You can see it here. Multiplication of what? V1 and V2. And the result that is going to return back should be converted to string. So I converted it to string and displayed it in text box 3. Okay, let's try it. I'm running it. Okay. Here's the web service, and here's my web application. Okay. Now they are on the same my computer, but assume that this is on another computer, and my web application works on another computer, I mean web server. So they will interact. Okay. Okay. Now first number is 25, second number is 100, and I'm clicking multiply to make request to the web service, and finds the multiplication of these two numbers and return result back to me, and this web application will display the result in text box 3. Okay, yes, as you see, it works. This result came from the web service. Okay, this is an exercise how to develop a web service, how to develop web service, and how to use a web service. Okay, friends, any question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Patrick.
Yes, I didn't get how to connect web service and the web form.
Okay, now let's go back. Okay, I'm keeping this web service. I'm closing my web application. Okay, I'm going back to my web application. First of all, here you should add the reference. Okay, I right-click reference. I said add service reference, advanced, add web service, and here I pasted the address of web service. How I got the address of web service? Web service is already running here, you see?
Yes.
Okay. Then when I write the web service here, okay, and click go to, I will get the name of the web service itself here.
Okay.
When you click add reference, okay, this reference will be added into your solution explorer, as you see here.
Yes, sir.
And I will use this reference to connect to web service. And how I used it, I created an object by using this reference, localhost reference, in my web application project. And then after I create my object, I used it, and I found the result.
Okay.
Okay, this
as
you see, we have no any multiplication here. I mean, we don't have multiplication method in web application. Here, I'm creating an object for my service, and I'm using that object to find the multiplication. I'm getting this. This multiplication method runs on the web service, not on web application. When I do this, I'm making requests to the web service. I'm telling him that, okay, I have V1 and V2. I want you to find me the multiplication. And it finds and returns me the result back. Here, what could be, for example, my web service, maybe my web service reaches my database, makes some calculations on the data which is from my database, and returns me the result. And here what happened, web application has no any idea about database, has no any idea what happened on the database. But web service knows everything, and it makes certain task. It used database, or it made some special calculations, and then what web application knows, it just knows how to make request and what is the result. And this web service can be used by others. I mean, not only one web application. There are maybe hundreds of web applications that can use the same web service. Okay, as you look its name, as you see from its name, it's a service. It just gives service. Okay. I think you got your answer, Patrick.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You are welcome. Any other question? Okay, friends. I will not keep you too much today. Let me stop sharing my desktop. Okay. Just give me a minute, okay? Then I will take the attendance, and then I will let you go free today.